Okay, so everyone, can I have your attention please? So good morning. Again, I am Cristel and I will be your tour guide here inside the Rice God and Saints, the Therese Hermosissima Finnegan collection. So just a brief history about this gallery. So this gallery houses various cultural artifacts from the Cordillera region and statues from the Roman Catholic saints. So US-based Miss Therese Hermosissima Finnegan donated her 30-year collection of rice god carvings, Ifugao tribal weaponry, arts and crafts, ornaments, and religious images here in this museum. The gallery also features various photographs from the Cebu Sinulog Festival and the Cordillera tribe taken by Mr. Jacob Mines, an American documentary photographer that is based here in the Philippines. So let's start here. As you can see above, those are the Ifugao tribe doing their rice harvest ritual. So the ritual usually starts when the rice are taken into the granary and when the rice are harvested, they would perform a thanksgiving and asking of the replenishments of the granaries that signals the end of the rice ritual. So that's how they do it. So next we have here portraits from the tribe of Cordillera region. We have here a tattooed Kalinga woman. We have here Lakay Waao from Mountain Province. Then portrait of Lakao Lausan from Abra. As what you have observed here in the first picture, we have a tattooed Kalinga woman. Tattooing was already prevalent as early as the pre-colonial period here in the Philippines. It is already part of our culture. So, for men, before they get a tattoo, they should first make themselves worthy of having a tattoo by joining a fight that they need to win. Men having tattoos are viewed as brave and courageous by their in their community. So, for women, on the other hand, they get a tattoo to enhance their beauty and for fertility, and it serves as their clothing because, as you can see, they are naked. Okay, so are there any questions here? So next we have here the very famous, I believe we are very familiar with the Banawe rice terraces. So the Banawe area are carved with magnificent rice terraces that have been described as one of the 8 wonders of the world. It is originally constructed by the Ifugao people, and they are still the one who maintains them today. So it is constructed as early as 1000 BC, and the rest of the first rice terraces was carved out from the mountains as early as 1000 BC, and the rest of the terraces were built for the next 4 centuries. It is also believed that they carved this mountain by purely with the use of their hands, because during those times we still don't have an equipment or machine that will help them build this. If you'd like to take a picture, you can sit here with the background. Okay. So next, here we have the Ifugao tribe weaponry. These are used from their fights, wars, and even from the hunting animals that serves as their food before. Okay, so next we have the accessories. These accessories are usually wear this or use this for special occasions or celebrations. What makes these accessories extra special is because they are handmade and they use indigenous materials, including the teeth of the animals that they've hunted. There. Okay, so next one of the main attraction in this gallery is the bulol, or the rice gods. So rice gods or the bulol, it is a simplified image of a human being. Bulol can be a male or a female. So bulol is carved out from a single block of strong narrow wood or stone. So for them, for the Ifugao, they believe that bulol will help them have a good rice production and it keeps safe their granary. So careful selection of the wood to be used is made, and then before it is used for the ritual, it is first consecrated by the pig's blood to ensure the power of the bulol. There. So next we have here the photo of Apo Wangod, also known as the oldest and last Mambabatok artist from the tribe of Bukbot in Boscalan, Kalinga. So she learned the tradition of tattooing from her father when she was still young. So Mambabatok is the traditional method of tattooing. It is done by hand tapping the ink into your skin with the use of thorn that is attached to a 12-inch bamboo stick. So the ink used is a mixture of charcoal and a water. Then the thorn is usually used from lemon plant. Then being said that Wangod is the last from her tribe to practice the tradition, she decided to mentor her some of her niece in their tribe to continue the tradition. She is still alive until now. She is, I believe she is 103 or 102 years old as of now. She's still performing the tradition for the locals, for the tourists and visitors, even the foreigners from all over the world that visit her. So these are some of the equipments used from Ifugao from their daily lives. Here, this is the structure of how the Ifugao tribe, how their household is constructed. Okay, so here we have the images or the statues of different Catholic saints. We have here the Santo Niño. Then next we have the Sinulog, the very one of, and I believe we are all familiar with Sinulog, right? So, Sinulog is one of the popular festivals we have here in the Philippines, attracting over 1 million of tourists every year. So, Sinulog Festival is held every third Sunday of January here in Cebu City. Then, the Sinulog word comes from the Cebuano word sulog, which means the current water movement of the sea, that describes the movement of the forward and the backward dance of the Sinulog dance. Then the Sinulog celebration lasts for 9 days, and starting it with Novena Mass and culminating it with a Sinulog Grand Parade on the Sinulog Day. Celebrating Sinulog, we also commemorate the Filipino people's acceptance of Catholic religion that happened here in Cebu in 1521 when Magellan came here to baptize Raham Humabon and his wife Queen Amihan by giving the image of Santo Niño, after which they were renamed Carlos and Juana of Cebu. It is believed when Juana received the image of Santo Niño, she danced with joy, bearing the image of Santo Niño along with the other natives, remarking the first Sinulog that happened here in Cebu. So, yes, if you'd like to take a picture again with the background, you may. Here, the Novena Mass, photos of the Novena Mass, we have another image of Santo Niño's image. Then last, we have here photos during the during the Grand Parade of Sinulog. Then we have the Fluvial Procession held a day before the Sinulog Day. It sails from Mandaue City to Cebu City, and the procession ends in the Basilica Minor de Santo Niño de Cebu, where a reenactment of the acceptance of Catholicism here in the Philippines are performed. So yeah, that's the end of our tour here. Are there any questions?
Okay, that's it. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.